Welcome to Broken Bushcraft. So it's been raining for the last few days, and I was just realizing that, you know what? Let's go start a fire in the woods. Why not? But everything's soaked. How do we do that? Well, we're not going to use any fire assisters today, or anything that's going to help modify our fire except for our ferrocerium rod and what we find out here. There is dry to be had out here. You just got to look for it and know where to look. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Let's kick this off. So where do we find our dry material? Well, it's all over, really. But the best place to look is underneath trees. Pine trees are the absolute best because you're gonna have the pine sap that's in the branches, but you'll have those dead hanging branches in the pine tree. The water's shed away from them. But if you don't have pine trees around you, like I don't have any pine trees here, then what you can do is just find canopies where it's overhanging and there's dry stuff underneath it. It's right there. Now you want to look for stuff that's hanging. It's hard to see this up here, but there's some branches that are dead and hanging. You don't want to take the branches off the ground because those branches most likely are just sitting in those wet leaves. The water's run over them. Think of it like the liquor store. You want to find the top shelf items. You don't want to buy the bottom shelf items unless you absolutely have to. Is there dry material on the ground? There is, but you're going to find the stuff better up here where it's air drying and dead and could possibly light just like that. So let's collect some of this material and then we'll start our fire. Remember when you're collecting material, you want to hear that crack. Oh, that was a good one. I have some kindling, but I have my secret weapon. The kindling's dry, but it's still a little moist. But this, wow, is my secret weapon. This branch is dead, so I just cracked it off real easy. The outside is wet, it's soaked, but the inside is dry. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make really fine shavings on this, almost like a feather stick, but just with a bigger object. Now with our kindling, we can do feather sticks too, opening that material up so it dries when it hits the heat. So that way everything's drying out and then burning as we go along. So let's shed this thing up. So you just want to carve into this, make your pile, try to keep everything in one place, and just shave it right into your piles. Now I have all of this dry material from just this. I'm going to keep going on this so I can shave down more. You want more surface area because it still has to dry out some of these sticks. So I'm just going to keep shaving this down, get what I can from the inside. Another tip for you is take your saw, cut the piece of wood, whatever piece of wood, and then baton them into fuel sizes. So that way you have more fuel to put on your fire and you know the inside of this is dry. So let's let our fire now. Got my tinder bundle here and my ferro rod. Let's try to get this going. Or kindling, put it right on top. So I moved the fire into the Dakota fire hole just to help out a little bit. And you see it's going. You can start adding more to it if I want. Whew. There you have it. A sustainable fire made with all wet wood. Now is it easy? No. It does require a bit more work. But it's going. You can hear the water sizzling out. If you still have pieces like this about 1 inch in diameter, keep batoning these down and just keep feeding this fire. Look for those dead trees around, something that's snapped off, and just that's all you add to the fire and it'll cook it out now. So right now I could put the wet logs in there, damp logs in there, and still keep it going. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the woods.